It's Jennifer Evans with Empowering Wellness Counseling Solutions, and today we are talking about working the hierarchy. So if you've ever been in a job where you find that you are overworking, either you are what we call an independent contributor, so your job is to really just show up, provide something, whether it's subject matter expertise, it is cashier checking somebody out, or bag person, bagging up groceries, stocking. I don't know why I'm stuck on retail, but whatever the case may be, you come in, you do your job, you get out of there. Versus management, which is you are to kind of look at your team and make sure that your team aligns with what the executives want, and that they're all kind of, every cog is moving in the wheel. So everybody is doing what they're supposed to do, and you're reporting down to independent contributors and you're reporting up to executives. And then executives being, that is leaderships. That's the 3-letter crew, right? So that can be directors and VPs, and then you have your CEOs, COOs, presidents, things like that. And so their job at the executive level is really to see things on a broad span. So they want to see not only their business and what their business is doing, but how do they grow their business? How is their business comparing to other businesses? And so they're at this very high level to see, how do we make the most out of the company that we have built? How do we report down to our managers to be able to get the independent contributors to provide the best return on investment when it comes to human capital? And then really relying on the managers to report up so that they know exactly what is happening and how that can help boost them to be even more successful as a business, or what they need to change when they're lacking in success. So looking at that kind of hierarchical structure, we have executive, management, and then independent contribution. And what we find is we get really stressed out when we are not working within our hierarchy. And so what that looks like is that we start getting stressed out. We're independent contributors, and we're getting stressed out at how the pieces are moving and the what ifs about what is happening. And we feel scared that we don't know what is happening. And so we're taking on anxiety about the company, when ultimately we're supposed to show up, do our job, leave, go off into the world. Or we're a manager and we're really focused on a product. So we're calling clients, we're trying to get, sales made, we're trying to get subject matter expertise put in there. Then we're not working our level. And so we're adding on stress. And as we add on stress and worry, we're also losing our value, because now we are occupying multiple positions. And as I've said before, and you can go back to the anxious cycle or the negative cycle, or even my post on anxiety, when we are occupying 2 different spaces at once, that lightning bolt of energy that comes in, that kind of rumbly and the tumbly, that pressure in the neck or the chest, like that, it just doesn't feel right. That's anxiety. It's because we're occupying 2 spaces at once and we only can occupy 1. And so when we're occupying 2 positions at once, that feeling, that discomfort, and then paired with low value, really starts to shine and take over our sense of self and our sense of value and our sense of purpose, because we're not doing our job, we're doing multiple jobs. So now we're working twice as hard for technically half the pay. And that is not good. That's not good for the work culture. That's not good for you as a human. That's not good for everybody who has to interact with you when you're still kind of preoccupied by what's happening at work and other aspects of your life. So what do? Well, we ground and we find valid data points. So if we were to build an action plan for the most productive person that we can be, whether we are an independent contributor, a manager, or a leader, then we want to say, what is our vision? I like clocking in and clocking out. It's just what I like to do. Work is important to me. It gives me a sense of purpose. I love serving, and it is a value of mine to be able to serve and talk to all of you, but I got to admit, I want to clock in and I want to clock out, and I want to go on my adventures and go travel the world like I do. I want to play in my garden. I want to get on that paddle board and get out on the water. I want to have work-life balance. And so I've chosen more independent contribution roles, and I've chosen to build a business where I get to have that balance, where I get to clock in when I want to clock in, and I get to clock out when I want to clock out, and I don't really worry about other pieces happening. For those who like management, they enjoy the aspect of people. They enjoy curating people. They like help hiring people and giving them jobs. They like seeing and helping people prosper and grow. That is management. And then the high level thinkers, the ones who really, really like seeing things from a broad worldwide level and how their business fits amongst everything in the field and how the business as itself moves, those are your executives. And so when you find yourself preoccupied, then you need to ask yourself, what is making me preoccupied? Is it poor leadership? So leadership is passing down anxiety, not information. Is it, I want to level up in the world. Like, I don't want to be a independent contributor or manager. I want to get to that next level. Or is it, that you are just an anxious person? And so as an anxious worker, you are overproducing, or you're not in the right level that you're supposed to be in. But all of these are characteristics and should be examined when we start to have discomfort and we're starting to get toxicity in the workplace. Micromanaging is a kind of subset of this. Micromanaging is an insecure manager. So they have leveled up for some reason. Maybe they showed a lot of acumen in their ability to be an independent contributor. And so somebody wanted to give them a sense of leadership and wanted to really groom them into something bigger. Maybe they just wanted more money, but not more responsibility. But it comes from a sense of insecurity. This, my hand needs to be in all the pots, is a sense of insecurity, and it makes people very defensive because, again, now a manager is occupying an independent contributor's role, and it doesn't feel good. It makes me feel defensive, and like I have to now continue to justify why I am here when I've done a very good job. And at the end of the day, you as a micromanager are projecting onto me as an independent contributor for the fact that you are insecure, and it's you that doesn't know your job, not me that doesn't know my job. And that's an important thing to remember. And we want to get like in your face, right? Because we feel like we've lost agency when those things happen, and you get so stirred up. And what happens is we're starting to open that door to the amygdala, to that primitive lizard brain. And all of the times we felt like we didn't have agency, or somebody didn't trust us, or we didn't have a sense of control, come flooding back. And now we're having these weird dreams of a long time ago, flooding into now, and you're like, what does this have to do with anything? Well, it's the amygdala. You started opening doors to the past, and your past is now occupying your present. So we take deep breaths and we say and sift through, okay, what are valid data points? Well, valid data point is I'm an independent contributor. My job is to clock in, share information for what I was, or a service, or specialty, whatever it is that I was hired for. I do it for the hours that I am here, and I clock out, and I don't do it anymore. That is my job. If I am being asked to watch over other people, if I'm being asked to answer for the things that I have done and for my time, if I am asked to, or if I am concerned about how the pieces are moving, then I am no longer occupying what my job is, to clock in, clock out, get my work done. And I need to figure out what that is, what is causing the anxiety, so that I can ground, find if does it serve me, and then let it go, or appropriately find an action-oriented step to address it. And so when we're looking at this action plan, we have our vision of success, we have our intention. What are we trying to do? Are we trying to clock in, clock out, give our subject matter expertise, our service, or our product? Are we managing, so we're reporting down and reporting up? Or are we a leadership? We are in the executive committee. So we are looking at things globally and looking at how that changes the infrastructure of the business in order to have the greatest return on investment. If we're doing anything outside of one of those roles, that is our role that we're identified, then we have to look at it and try to set boundaries so that we stay within our role. And that helps us to stay within our role, within our job. It helps us to stay within our role so that we are not moving positions if that's not what our intention is. And it helps us to find a clear and action-oriented game plan so that we're not stepping on people and causing bad relationships as we're trying to organize ourselves to maybe possibly a different role, or trying to manage up, which is always an uncomfortable situation when we have a manager that is lacking or insecure. So there's a lot of this. I am exploring it and getting a lot more in detail with my book, Key Steps to Live a Happier and Healthier Life. So go check it out. It is on Amazon and you can learn a lot more. Please like and ask questions. I love leadership as much as I love helping people and empowering people to live happier and healthier lives. Thank you so much. Hi, it's Jennifer Evans. I hope you are liking my videos. If you do, please comment below. Let me know if you have any questions. If there's topics that you're just dying to know about, and why do I do this and why do they do that? I would love to answer them. I do come from a cognitive behavioral background, but as we see in some of my videos, I love object relations. I love attachment theory. I love Erickson and his psychosocial developmental theories. So I do pull from a lot of different places in order to kind of build out that our thoughts, our feelings, our behaviors, something triggers it, and there's always a consequence after it. And that is the beauty of life and why we have a lot more control over our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors than we give ourselves credit for. This is a huge passion of mine, a calling, if you will. And I am here to support you. I've written 2 books, and I've got, the goal is 3 a year. So I've got several that are coming out in different, on different topics. But what we have right now, and you can go click on the Amazon link in the video descriptions below, but we have Saying Goodbye to Bad Brain. This is going to go and teach you everything you need to know about your negative narrative. So if you feel like life is hard and it just feels like you don't understand people, or you don't understand why somebody you love keeps making the dumbest mistakes and decisions, what is their problem? They have bad brain. Go read about it. Find some empathy. Find some grace, because that is just them recapitulating their past. And we do it for ourselves, and other people do it to us. And so when we know what they're doing, it makes it feel a lot less annoying and a lot more like we have agency over those experiences. So Saying Goodbye to Bad Brain. I also just released, and I'm very excited, is Key Steps to Living a Happier and Healthier Life. This is a workbook that is going to help you define what your values are, what success is for you, and what your vision of success, and it is going to go through everything that stresses us out and makes us live in suffering and despair, allow that bad brain to get involved, and instead of living in the present. So this will go through all the main things: building a work-life balance, being able to be good enough, finding radical acceptance, decision making, which who would have thought that that was something, but it really breaks everything down that prevents you from living a happier and healthier life, and then allowing you to challenge those thoughts so that you can. So these are the key skills. So in my practice, I take the ABC model from Albert Ellis, through CBT. And I kind of open it up to this kind of overarching trajectory. And so we have awareness, acceptance, action. So the 3 A's of my treatment support with others, whether that's coaching or in therapy, through my books, and I have success groups as well. So I've got a lot of supports, and I use the same model. And that is, we need to build awareness about kind of why we do the things we do. We accept it. We don't agree, but we accept, okay, this is kind of my trajectory. I can see how it all comes together. I see trending patterns. I see how I act the same way. Actually, I get frustrated, but yet I'm acting the same exact ways because it is predictable, because that's my brain. It's bad brain working. It's a really good book. And so then we have action. And so I teach you lots and lots of ways to understand what the brain is doing and how to counter, how to challenge, counter, and do opposite actions. And so we have lots and lots of ways. The Bad Brain book has tons of ways in which we do that. And then the workbook has ways to start reflecting. We have exercises, activities, and journal prompts. And this book will actually, Key Steps to Living a Happier and Healthier Life, will follow my success group. So it is a 6-month success group. We break it down into 9 weeks. This is part 1, is living a happier and healthier life. Then we're going to have, we also have a part 2 section and a part 3. So you can come in at each of those sections, and it will have a continuous flow. Part 2 is our emotional regulation. So we're really looking at the relationship we have with ourselves and how the bad brain comes in and makes us reactionary, and how to calm and be more action oriented. Part 3 is interpersonal skills. How do you relate with others? How do you make yourself available? The key to life is you can't control the outcomes. You got to put all those processes out there. How do you put yourself out in that process to help others and to let others help you? That is section 3. We do have a subscription program, so accountability is everything, and it is in my first part of this workbook. So you can sign up, go to my website, counselingwellnesssolutions.com. It is in the description, and check out all of these great programs that I have set up to help everybody live a happier and healthier life, no matter where your state of change. Thank you so much. Please like and share my videos. I would appreciate it. Thank you.